Zopa already have over 1.4 million UK customers, a 4.6 Trustpilot rating, and a strong reputation for saving and lending products. Now they've launched Biscuit, their first UK current account, and they're providing some big perks, with 2% interest on your main balance, 2% cashback on bills, 7.1% interest for a regular saver pot, and fee-free spending abroad. Zopa even claims that you can earn up to a massive £256 a year from these perks. So, is this the best free bank account in the UK right now? Well, in this video, I'll be breaking down exactly what you get with this account, what's hiding in the small print, and whether this account actually stacks up to the likes of Chase, Monzo, and the big high street banks. If you're new here, I'm Finch, Management Consultant by day, and on this channel we like to discuss all things personal finance with a particular focus on how to grow your money. If this sounds good to you, then I'd greatly appreciate a subscribe. But for this video, let's get into it, and let's kick off by going through exactly what is this Biscuit account. It's a full UK current account from Zopa, FSCS protected, with all the basics covered. Accounts can be opened through their app in minutes. I tested this out and it was indeed super quick. The cool thing here is that as soon as you sign up, you receive a virtual card which you can use instantly with Google Pay or Apple Pay. You do also get a physical card, but you'll need to wait for this to come in the post. Once the account is opened, you can do everything you'd expect through their app, with payments, card management, and so on. Within the app, you can also link external accounts to manage your money all in one place, which is neat. And overall, Zopa have likely pitched this account as a challenger to the likes of Chase, Starling, Monzo, and Revolut. To compete with these financial powerhouses, they've loaded the account with standout features. So let's go through these one by one and see if you can really get the £256 they advertise in a year from these perks. The first perk is the fact that you can earn 2% annual equivalent rate interest on your main balance. This applies to all your in-credit funds. There's no minimum, no tiered limits, and that 2% is fixed for the first year. In today's market, that's better than Monzo, Starling, and most high street banks, with most banks paying no interest on your main balance funds. It's worth noting that this isn't the best in market for this type of rate. The best imbalance rate is currently offered by Nationwide with their Flex Direct current account at 5%. However, Nationwide's rate is only applied to the first £1,500, whereas with Zopa, there's no published cap, so Zopa could actually be the better offering for larger balances. Overall, this in-credit interest is a nice passive bonus, but it's not the star of the show for this current account. That's the next benefit in the 7.1% regular saver pot. Zopa is offering a regular saver pot with 7.1% annual equivalent rate interest on deposits up to £300 a month. This is a headline grabber benefit as it's currently the market leader in terms of regular savings account interest at the time of recording. On paper, this sounds incredible, but there are some caveats, and in practice, it might not be as good as it sounds. This is because you're drip feeding in money each month with £300 maximum monthly contributions, and interest applies only to what's in the pot. So in practice, the maximum return is about £137 a year. That's a real world yield of around 3.8% on the full 3,600. This means that this account doesn't beat the overall return you'd get from many fixed savings accounts if you're wanting to lock away a lump sum. The account tends to suit best those who want to drip feed money from their salary into a savings account. If you're in this boat, then this account is one of the best around. But if you're not, then you're probably better off looking elsewhere for your savings. It's also worth noting that this rate is variable, so Zopa can change it at any time. Nonetheless, at the time of recording, this is a solid savings account, especially as it's free to access, and this account is a real selling point of the platform. The next benefit is 2% cashback on direct debits for bills, but only on the first £1,500 a year. This means the maximum cashback you can get is £30 a year. So yeah, it's a nice to have. Of course, a £30 perk is still great, but it's not a game changer. You'll likely get better cashback elsewhere. For example, Chase is currently offering 1% cashback on card spending, capped at £15 a month, and Santander's Edge account is currently offering up to £10 a month in cashback for selected household bills. So Zopa's 2% is generous in theory, but probably limited in real impact. The next perk is the fee-free overseas spending. This is a genuine win, with no foreign transaction fees for overseas spending. You get the real Visa exchange rate with a 0% foreign exchange fee. This puts it right in line with the likes of Monzo, Starling and Chase. Considering most legacy banks charge around 2.75% on overseas spending, Zopa is a great shout for travel. In terms of ATM withdrawal fees, £200 can be withdrawn abroad over any 30-day period without incurring any charges too. With that, we've now gone through the 4 main perks with this account. So let's assess if Zopa's marketing really adds up in terms of if these perks can equate to up to a £256 a year benefit. Let's break down their math one by one. In terms of the 2% cashback on 1,500 worth of bills, this provides £30 and it's very achievable. In terms of what you can get from a 7.1% regular savings pot, assuming that this rate stays the same and you deposit the full £300 a month, then £137 is also very achievable. And finally, in terms of what you can get from the 2% interest on your in-credit balance funds, Zopa use a baseline current account balance of £4,460, and 2% of this is just over £89. So if we add together £30, £137 and £89, it does indeed come to £256. The final assumption made there in that you have a in-credit balance of £4,460 does seem a little bit high, but when you dig into the data that Zopa use, it's fair enough as they're using ONS and Bank of England data to calculate the average current account balance. So Zopa's calculations here are relatively fair based on the assumptions that you max out the bill direct debits, save £300 a month, and hold just under £4,500 as a balance in your Zopa current account. With this, it's achievable to reach the £256, but only if you're managing this account actively and optimally. As well as these perks, it's also worth going through any downsides with this account, as like with any current account out there, there are some downsides. The first is, like with many of the newer banks, Zopa has no branches. They also don't offer joint accounts, there's no overdraft facility, and the app at the moment is still relatively basic with no advanced features, such as no budgeting tools. Of course, I'm being relatively picky here, as this is a brand new account. Zopa will likely improve the account, and it's hard to deny they've made a really strong start here. So now we can finally answer that question from the start of the video, in whether this Zopa Biscuit account is the best free current account in the UK right now. In my view, it's definitely competitive, especially for savers who make the most of the £300 regular savings pot. The 2% interest on your balance and fee-free travel spending are both solid too, but the cashback is a bit of a token gesture in my view. Overall, when compared to Monzo or Starling, in my view, Zopa's current account currently lacks features and polish, and compared to Chase, it's more savings focused and less rewarding in terms of cashback. Nonetheless, for a free account, the combination of a market-leading regular savings account, in-credit interest, cashback, and travel perks make it one of the most rewarding options if you play it right. There's a big convenience factor here too in getting all these benefits in one account, as usually you need a few accounts to have all of these benefits. That said, if you don't plan to use these perks or want more advanced banking features, then Zopa's current account probably won't replace your main bank just yet. And this is where I'm at. I'll use the regular savings account, but it won't replace my main bank. Let me know in the comments what you think about this new Biscuit current account. Thanks for watching.